Weather added to a nightmare for passengers on an American Airlines flight out of Dallas overnight. They were stuck collectively at the gate and on the tarmac for roughly 9 hours, capturing the mood on that plane with their cell phones.
Yeah, dipping into the drinks cart.
Exactly, as they should be. Our Rena Ninen is following the story for us this morning. Good morning, Rena.
Paula, Dan, good morning. By the time you make it here to the check-in counter, the toughest part of your journey might be perhaps the security line just behind me. But for some American Airlines travelers, they experience a series of flight delays turning into a travel nightmare they won't soon forget. A nightmare for passengers on American Airlines Flight 382, what was supposed to be a short, nearly 1-hour flight from Dallas to Oklahoma City turned into an eternity. Delay after delay, keeping travelers stuck on the plane 9 long hours after the flight was scheduled to take off.
10 hours later, feels great to be home. It's an incredibly stressful day. I don't want to ever do that again.
Passengers catching the mood on the plane with their cell phones.
It was just up and down. Like we were happy one second because we thought we were leaving, and then the next second we were just deflated because we were returning back to the gate.
American Airlines tells ABC News, "We apologize for the frustrating experience. Yesterday was a challenging day at DFW due to extreme weather impacting North Texas. The safety of our passengers and employees is always our top priority." Delays began because of winter weather and plane de-icing. But passengers were never held on the actual tarmac for longer than the 3-hour limit set by the passenger's Bill of Rights.
It was an unfortunate event. We're all here, nothing we can do about it.
But then a different law caused yet another delay. The flight crew had to be relieved after working more than the legal 8 hours. At times, the scene on the plane becoming chaotic. Passengers taking it upon themselves to raid the liquor fridge.
It was kind of a mix of comedy and anger. The tensions were high.
The good news, though, in 2009, there were 868 domestic flight delays, people stuck on tarmacs more than 3 hours. But since passenger protections were put in place, that number dropped to just 30 last year. Dan?
So some positive news. I like what that guy said about the mixture of comedy and anger. Probably unwise to add booze into that mix, but Rena, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in ABC News aviation consultant Steve Ganyard. Steve, technically, and Rena mentioned this, the airline didn't violate the passenger's Bill of Rights because the plane wasn't on the actual tarmac for more than 3 hours, but you say that is really not good enough.
Dan, I think they're being a little too clever by half here. They're saying, well, we trapped you on this airplane for 9 hours, but at least we didn't keep you out on the tarmac for 3 of those 9 hours. So, there are questions for American here. Why would you board an airplane and keep people on for 4 to 5 hours? Why would you send an airplane out to get de-iced and then have it sit there for 90 minutes? Why does it take 90 minutes to do that? So I think that Americans really trying to defend the indefensible here.
Now, despite the infuriating nature of this experience for the passengers, you do want to make a point that de-icing is of paramount importance. Why?
Well, sometimes people don't understand why the de-icing process is so important, because anytime you get ice or even frost on a wing, you've changed that wing in a way that could make it so it couldn't be able to fly. Some of the worst aviation mishaps ever in history have been due to icing. So it's very, very important for the airplanes to be properly de-iced. But in this case, the weather had been bad for days in Dallas. This was not a surprise to American. They should have been better prepared. They should have executed better.
And they are apologizing this morning. Steve Ganyard, thank you for your expertise as always.